So let's talk about semantic elements. Semantic elements, as noted in the reading here, basically are elements used in very much every modern HTML5 layout. They can be predicted as existing in just about anywhere you go. To visit a web page, there's going to be your headers, your navigation units, section, asides, article, footer. So far, we've dealt with simple tags in HTML. You'll recognize the P for paragraph, the H1 for heading 1, H2 for heading 2. These tags are semantic in that they represent what they do. This is going to be the container of the code, not the code itself, although those things in HTML can get a little bit confusing because since we're tagging as opposed to coding, we're just telling the user, we're telling the browser what's going on as opposed to making it happen. For your styling, etc., we're going to be depending more on CSS, but HTML semantic tags are going to play a huge role in that. In this exercise, you're going to be adding the semantic tags to a letter. Although the examples here show you that a web page like the New York Times has a navigation unit on top, and they would have a header, that's where their name goes. There's articles, and there's sections that contain articles within them. There's headers in the Airbnb page, just like there are in the New York Times, and there's sections that have elements. These elements could be individual, or they could be articles themselves. Same thing with Wikipedia. They have a navigation on top, and that's a navigation unit that would just be signified by NAV. A huge article in the center here, and the same even for Lady Gaga, who has the navigation right in the middle. It's different, but the elements are the same. The image that you see below here, this is a very generic desktop page structure. This comes straight out of W3 Schools, and I do believe that the W3 consortium, the people that actually make the decisions as to what is code, have put this together. So that even with no elements, we can tell that there's going to be a header, navigation, a section, an article, and an aside. Is everything needed? Do you need to have a header on every page? Do you need to have a footer on every page? Not necessarily. As a matter of fact, you could go without any code. You could just type text and see and read the page. But obviously, we've come a long way since then, since the 90s, that we are going to be using CSS to make design look a little bit better. This illustration at the bottom shows you the same elements: a header, navigation unit, a section that contains articles within it, and a footer at the bottom of the page. This could be used in a web application. For the exercise, I'm going to guide you. Click on exercise at the Mozilla Developers Network. This is a group from the people that make Firefox. They have this is a whole course, so don't fall down the rabbit hole just yet. I mean, by all means, visit this page, read it, learn from it. Right now, I'm just interested in you knowing what needs to happen for this assignment, which is read a little bit more about semantics, read what parts go where. It explains to you, this is a visual representation of what the letter looks like. This is the sample, it's just an image, so you could actually download it and make it larger if you need. But just know that in the end, your document with the text that you download will have a header that has the name of a person, and it has an address. Then there is a welcome tag here. This is still could be part of your head. This is going to be your main section, which probably has a couple of articles, one starting with RE and just what this is regarding, the starting dates, subjects of study, etc. All of these things that can be tagged along with more HTML. I need you to tag them inside of semantic elements. And because this is our first dive into it, I will guide you through the process. So let me return to the assignment itself. These are things that you're going to need. I'm going to be doing this in Atom. If you are having issues with Atom, you can also do this inside the GitHub page, your GitHub page. This is an assignment for week 4. And in week 4, we already have an index.html page, but that's going to be for the next assignment. So I'm going to create another file inside of week 4, right click, and create a new file. And in all lowercase letters, I'm going to type this name, just going to be letter.html. Press enter. I'm also going to need a CSS file, so I'll right click on week 4 again, create a new file, and we're going to call this one style.css. They're both in the same directory, and that's where they need to be. Let me close this welcome and telemetry, etc. I'm just interested in seeing, I can have both files open, letter and style. I'm going to close that welcome, and I have letter and style open. I don't need index right now. And let me get started then. I know that I told you that there's going to be CSS. The CSS is already written. This exercise is not about CSS. I will click on the CSS to style the page, open up a GitHub page, and I'm going to click on raw so I can see just the code. I'll click anywhere where it's blank. I'm on a Mac, so press Command A to select all. If you're in a PC, press Control A as an apple, and then you can copy. Once it's copied, take it to Atom, and inside of style.css, paste it. So here is the CSS. Nothing needs to happen just yet. If you want to upload it now, just to make sure that it's up there, by all means do. I'm going to get started with the text before that though. So I'll go back to the assignment page. I'm going to close the CSS that I opened. And to get things started, I'm going to get this page template from my wiki. There's a couple of examples. There's a very basic HTML page, and then there's a basic HTML5 page. I'm going to get the basic HTML5 page template. I'll select all of that text, right click and copy, go back to Atom, and inside of letter.html, I'll paste, just dump the whole thing here, Command V or Control V on a PC. And now I have my initial text. So this is the letter.html. This is the web page plus its style. I'm going to, just to be on the safe side, we'll click on Git to see what's going on. I have 2 new files. They're green here and they have been changed. I'm going to stage all of them. And then I'll commit the files. I'll say initialized HTML and CSS pages. I'll commit these to the master and push them. I was logged out, so I'll log back in to my GitHub. It's ITSE, mine is ITSE 1411, whatever yours may be, if you need to log back in. Actually, it's just ITSE 1411 with my password. Tells me it's pushing, and I trust that it's gone. I'll go check later to see what's going on. If you were to go and look locally what's happening, actually in Atom, I can right click on letter.html. I'll reveal in Finder. For Windows it would be Explore or Reveal in Explorer, and here's my index page. That's blank, that I haven't touched. There's my letter that I just saved in the styling. I'm going to drag and open up the letter.html. Try that again. I'll put it there and start it. So it's blank, and that's fine because it doesn't have anything yet. I'll right click and view the page source. It tells me that there's nothing. It's a blank page. So great. I don't sound excited because that shouldn't be the case. Maybe, did I save it? I will save it now. I'll push it later. I'll reload. Okay, and now I see that there's something in there. If I right click, I'll see that my style.css is ready to go. If I click on it, it's still blank, probably for the same reason that it needs to be saved. File, save, and let me reload this, and there, now I can see my style.css. That's the style that I want, so at least locally these are ready to go. Because I just saved them after, I still would need to push them again, and why not? Yeah, let's do that. Click on Git, and stage all, and just say updated files, and commit to master. Alright, so after all that rigmarole, I don't need to have these open just yet. I'll leave this one open so I can reload it. You notice that the generic title of your page is here, but you'll change that to letter, and then we're going to be adding all of the text to the letter here, and we'll be adding some tags. I will do all of that in the next video since I've already talked for about 10 minutes.